Hello, my dear Cancer, welcome to your reading. So, my dear Cancer, this is a reading for, well, December/January, but really the focus here is on the message for end of the year, which is basically before I do 2022 forecast. And this is an important message because you really want to sort of take a moment and contemplate on the last year, so you don't bring any energies with you that you don't want, that you take your lessons learned, you obviously celebrate what you did well, but also take a bit of a advice in terms of how you've changed and what that gives you as opportunity in terms of upcoming energy. So I thought that would be really lovely to separate these two readings and do that one first before I do the big forecast. And you've got pretty awesome reading because powerful energies around you, and just looking at even at the main energy with the Judgment card here in terms of what was really happening around you, you had some tough things within yourself to really acknowledge and admit. You had a lot of insecurities that you worked with, fears, and you really stretch yourself into so many different situations and directions just to really understand yourself and what you really want. And with that gave you basically an opportunity to start whatever you want to start in your life from this point, because you've made an important judgment call on something in your life, whether that is a relationship, job, career, place of living, and all of that. And that is amazing because you really looked into your own eyes and you were not scared to admit of how you really feel. And that is quite powerful, because when I'm looking at what really was happening in terms of these lessons that this year was bringing you and how these lessons change you, it was really about embracing, first of all, change. It was really understand that, sometimes you are on the top of the wheel, sometimes you will be at the bottom, but the quicker you embrace the change, the quicker you will really navigate through, especially situations where you feel like you're not winning, right? You really understood how quickly you can shift circumstances and energies around you to really make them way more serving to you. And it's like you became that playful person, it's like even if something doesn't work out, I really feel like you could just laugh it off. And it's that constant energy in terms of embracing, don't worry, tomorrow is another day, tomorrow it can be different, tomorrow it can be as we want it, and even actually today. And I really love that because it's that constant change also here with the number 8 Otter card, and swimming through the waters and really playing with life, really being playful and embracing and very gentle. It's almost like one of the lessons that you've really learned last year, Cancer, is stop resisting. The quicker you make a decision, the quicker you make a move on something, the much more pleasant that change becomes to you. And I think that's beautiful because it's basically you go with the flow from now on, Cancer. You go with the flow and it just feels great when you do that. It's that moment when you surrender to life and to opportunities and situations. It's amazing. And that's changed you clearly. And look at this 9 of Cups. It's almost as you're relearning of how to feel happy again, how to embrace the joy. And that is an amazing card, and it's in a place for you, like how that's changed you. And your idea of happiness has changed, your idea of joy, your what really makes you happy. These are different things, different people. You've changed. And perhaps you also have changed to the point that you know that the best source of happiness to you is actually yourself. And it starts with you. And this is a really powerful place to be at, my dear Cancer, because that means you actually don't really need anyone to make you happy. You can share your happiness with others, and you do want that, but you're not codependent anymore on anyone to feel happy. And again, powerful place to really be at. Be proud of yourself because you brought a difficult closures and endings in your life. I feel like you were one of these people last year that delivered disappointing messages. Maybe you've had to resign from the job, you had to disappoint your boss, maybe you had to end a relationship or friendship. Maybe you had to do something that your family didn't accept. And I feel like you were one of these people last year that have triggered a lot of situations and, you know, perhaps broke some hearts too. But it is in a position of be proud of that, because also here with the goddess of change, I mean, just look at this powerful, by the way, Sagittarius had this card as well, so especially if you have a Sagittarius in your chart, worth looking at the other reading. But look how fearless you are here. Look at this goddess. She makes the call, she makes decisions, she knows she is the change, she knows she will stir things up, she knows she will shift people's world upside down, and she's not scared because she knows that if she doesn't do it, nobody else will, and she knows that it's her responsibility to bring that change for the better for everyone. It's not about being selfish, it's about knowing that, you know, she is the trigger and sometimes she needs to obviously press the right button. And be proud of that, because I think you, generally speaking, maybe don't always put yourself in that place of like confidence when it comes especially other people's emotions. You very, very careful, and you know, you really value people's hearts. And last year you were like, no, like things need to change, we need to go with the flow, and right now something doesn't flow, which means it's not working. So a lot of confidence for you. Something was holding you back. A lot of you were involved in a third-party situations, or you were in a situation when somebody else had third-party energy. So again, relationship, friendships, you know, it's something like, again, it wasn't really flowing. It was taking you into too many different directions, and you had a lot of things to deal with, and not just yours, but other people's things. And you know, that third party energy, let's put some cards actually, because I'm now intrigued maybe more specifically, but it's like this thing was holding you back, and if you haven't dealt with it, now it's a time. But let's see a little bit whether we can put more details. Okay, so we have Ten of Wands, King of Swords, and Nine of Wands. And I have this Knight of Discs, a person around you. Somebody slightly maybe younger or less settled. Maybe they have a slightly less either financial backup, or maybe they are just a bit slower. You know, some people are just generally a bit slower with things like communication, emotions. They're not as driven. I feel like this person was a bit slow. They like the comfort. They're quite hardworking, but just emotionally a bit slower. Okay, Three of Swords and the Moon. All right, look, this is now very clear because you've ignored the fact that there was another person somewhere in that relationship, either on your side or the other person's side. There's a Three of Swords, sorrow, disappointment, the secret, the moon. So something, you know, something wasn't completely transparent and honest. And I think you've had signals. If you hadn't had complete truth on the table, you definitely had red flags and you have ignored them. And that was holding you back. You're coming up here as a King of Swords, Ten of Wands, which is again difficult ending, and knowing that this ending will, you know, again will be quite tough to have it on your shoulders, and you were trying to avoid that responsibility, right? Again, Lion here blocked by you, Nine of Wands. It's almost as ignoring the problem and not wanting to communicate. So that basically is something that was holding you back. Now, what I would say, my dear Cancer, is that if you are still in this situation where you haven't dealt with that, please do that, because next year it meant to be completely about something different. Like, you really meant to like try to resolve that, like literally ASAP. It's been holding you back last year already. and you have ignored that, which means if you continue doing that next year, it's going to be harder and harder on you, and you're really wasting time. That's all I have to say about this situation. And you know, here the advice is with the Five of Cups is a disappointment card. Stop being so either disappointed and just move on, or don't worry too much about that disappointment, because you have so much to look forward that is actually going to really be much shorter time of like that sorrow and crying than you imagine, because again, you've learned going with the flow. Soon as you will go with the flow, you'll be on the other side. So the Five of Cups says, yes, somebody might get disappointed, yes, somebody might cry into a pillow, but actually it's not working. That, I mean, I wish I could tell you more, but it's not working, and you being asked to really take a charge here. You're beautiful, you're attractive, you're smart, you're clever, you have the passion, and the devil is saying to me here, you know, you're wasting your energy, time on something. You're being completely changed into that situation. And I don't think it's for everyone. I think if you've moved on already with the Eight of Wands, amazing, well done. That's your reading. I'm looking forward basically to 2020. But if you haven't yet, now it's a time to basically strike. Look, Eight of Wands. You have all what you need to make the final move. Don't hesitate. So, my dear Cancer, I am going to leave that reading here because I feel like it was sharp, it was to the point, it was crystal clear to me, and I don't think I want to say anything else, because this is basically here the most important thing right now, especially for those who haven't sorted yet. And sorry, my cat just jumped on the table and I got distracted. Not sure if you've seen that. And that's it. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you like the reading, please share, subscribe, like, comment, and if you'd like to work with me one-on-one, then the description box will have all the details on how to reach me. And I hope to speak to you soon, especially when it comes to 2022 reading. Lots of love and bye for now.